Not only did Legendary Duelist's magical hero finally get revealed, or as I like to call it, Legendary Duelist Yugi, but we also got our first look at the brand new Dark Magician support that's coming out in this booster set. As a Dark Magician fan and player, I think that this is great support for the archetype. We don't know for sure if this support is going to propel the archetype into Tier 1, but I think that this is a step in the right direction. One of the biggest drawbacks to the Dark Magician archetype is that it's basically a going first deck where you have to set all these cards in order to activate them on your opponent's turn. But being able to activate these same cards when you're going second, now that would be great. And I think that this card is one of the ways in which we can do that now. So this Dark Magician fusion monster is called Dark Magicians the Ultimate Wizards. And unfortunately, it's not treated as either Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl at all. But another Dark Magician fusion monster is welcome in my book. And its first effect is a soft once per turn quick effect where it says, if a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you can draw one card, and if you drew a spell or trap, you can set it, and if you set a quick play spell or a trap this way, you can activate it this turn. So this is why I'm saying about being able to activate those cards right away when you're going second. Cards like Magician Navigation, Eternal Soul, Illusion Magic, Dark Burning Magic, and even cards that fit well into the archetype like Dark Renewal. Also, if I'm not mistaken, this card could work pretty well with Dark Magical Circle. So you could do either one of two things. The first thing that you can do is that you can activate Dark Magical Circle and then chain the effect of this Dark Magician fusion monster, draw a card, and then you can either set it or just keep it in your hand, and then resolve the effect of Dark Magical Circle, being able to stack the top 3 cards. And like I said, this first effect of the Dark Magician fusion monster is a soft once per turn. So instead of chaining it to the activation of Dark Magical Circle, you could activate the Fusion Monster's first effect as its own chain. So after you resolve the effect of Dark Magical Circle to stack the top 3 cards of your deck, then you can activate the Dark Magician Fusion Monster's first effect as its own chain, and then draw the card that you just happen to put on top of your deck. So for example, if you happen to stack your Magician Navigation on the top of your deck with Dark Magical Circle, then you can activate the effect of this Dark Magician fusion monster to draw that Magician Navigation, set it to your field, and then activate it right away if you have a Dark Magician already in your hand. It also has a second effect where if this card is destroyed, we don't know if means either by battle or by card effect yet, but it says here if this card is destroyed, you can special summon both one Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, and or graveyard. So yeah, even if your opponent tries to use Ghost Ogre on this Dark Magician fusion monster, you will still be able to gain a card advantage off of this. The second card that's being released in this booster set is called Magician's Souls. So we first had Magician's Rod and Magician's Robe, and now we have Magician's Souls. So both effects on Magician's Souls are hard once per turn effects, and the first effect reads, if this card is in your hand, you can send one level 6 or higher spellcaster from your deck to the graveyard as cost, then activate one of these effects. So sending a spellcaster from your deck to the graveyard will basically dodge Ash Blossom, but unfortunately, if that card stays in the graveyard, it might get hit by Called by the Grave or DD Crow or something. After you pay the cost of the first effect of Magician's Souls, you can either special summon the card from your hand, or you can send that card to the graveyard, then special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. So this first effect is basically a way for you to bring out Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl as quickly as possible. And I'm digging this. I'm digging this first effect. So basically what you could do is that you could send Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your deck to the graveyard and then special summon it with its second option for the first effect. What's actually funny is that at first I was going to say that you could actually use this in order to special summon Magician of Dark Illusion from your graveyard, but unfortunately that monster is not treated as Dark Magician while in the graveyard. Cards like Dark Magician the Dragon Knight and what's that other one? Magician of Chaos are treated as such. Magician's Soul's second effect is pretty good too. In fact, it's much more draw power than you can find in the Dark Magician Fusion monster. It simply says you can send up to 2 spells or traps from your hand and or field to the graveyard, draw that many cards. Not bad. This is a pretty interesting second effect. So what you could do is that you could send 2 spells from your hand to the graveyard and then draw 2 cards. And while you're at it, you can also activate Dark Magic Inheritance to banish those 2 spells from the graveyard, and then add either Dark Magical Circle or Magician Navigation if you want to. But I just feel like that there should be a way for you to be able to recycle those cards back to the graveyard, especially the ones that are within the Dark Magician archetype. But I still think that this is pretty good, being able to set up for your Magician Navigation disruption. If you happen to have Magician Navigation in your hand, you can set it to the graveyard with Magician Souls, draw a card, and then bring out Dark Magician either during your turn or during your opponent's turn, and then use Magician Navigation's effect from the graveyard to banish it, and then basically negate an opponent's spell or trap. And the last card that I want to talk about today is Magician's Combination, and it's a continuous trap that can be searched with cards like Magician's Rod, or Dark Magic Inheritance, or Dark Magical Circle. Is it Dark Magical Circle or Dark Magic Circle? Anyway, the first effect reads, once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, you contribute one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. Special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl with a different name than the attributed monster from your hand or graveyard. And if you do, negate that activated effect. Now, we don't know for sure, but of course, I'm thinking that this card would work pretty well with the cards like Magician of Dark Illusion, or Magician of Chaos, or Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, as I mentioned previously in this video. So let's say, for example, that you have a Dark Magician the Dragon Knight on your field. What you can do is that you can activate this card, and then you chain this effect to whatever card or effect that is activated. Tribute that Dragon Knight since it's treated as a Dark Magician on the field, and then afterwards you can special summon, let's say, Dark Magician from your hand, or from your graveyard, the original Dark Magician. I might have to look into this a little more, but I still think that this is pretty good synergy with the other cards that are either treated as Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. It also has a second effect where it reads, if this face-up card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can destroy one card on the field. So this second effect could be used to destroy any card in the field, not just the one on yours. And this could also work with the Magician's Soul, since it lets you send spells or traps from your field to the graveyard to draw cards. And yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So I might have to take some more time to process all of this, but like I said before, I think this is great support for the Dark Magician archetype, and I think it's a great step in the right direction. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that there's also a reprint for Apprentice Illusion Magician, at least for the OCG. We don't know for sure if this is coming to the TCG yet. But let me know what you guys think about this new Dark Magician support. I would really love to hear your thoughts. What other cards would you like to see for the archetype? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to help support the channel, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you stay updated on my latest Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope to see you again.